Hello, welcome, Cabbage here. Let's talk about Error Game Reset. This is the new Sega mobile game, which has a Yoko Taro attached to it. A couple nights ago, there was a live stream, a pre-release live stream talking about the game, and then the game will be releasing in JP next week. So, I'll make this video here. If you are new to my channel, I am Cabbage. I am a Japanese person living in Japan, playing Japanese mobile games, but doing it all in English for the global community. I have played mobile games for almost 10 years. I've been doing this exact same thing as a YouTuber for 7 years now this month. So I've seen a lot, and actually it kind of takes something very special or unique to catch my attention. And Error Game Reset here has kind of caught my attention, so I'll make a couple of videos about it. I don't expect I will pick up and play the game for a very long time, but lately I've been making a lot of videos kind of talking about more the mobile game industry, and it'll be interesting to look at this game, see how it is set up, maybe guess how successful it would be compared to other games that have been successful or unsuccessful lately. So at the very least, it'll be interesting to look at from an industry point of view. And then I have at least 2 other videos planned before launch next week. One, they released a kind of a companion game, like an intro to the game, where it does feature some battle. I'll make a video about that, and then maybe I'll make a video kind of talking about Sega's last major mobile game, Sin Chronicle. It shut down after only a year, so we can talk about like the nature of that game and then why it failed. Alright, but first, they had some kind of promotional video where they had a little bit of interview with Yoko Taro. And then I picked up some of the more interesting lines that he said. He said, this game is not going to be very like other games, so he thought it was worth making. And then he feels like this game is very kind of unusual or like niche. So he feels that people are going to be telling him that the game is not going to sell, but he will be satisfied with that. That shouldn't be a shock, knowing Yoko Taro. But maybe I'll talk about this in a future game, but like, it kind of seems like success in the mobile game industry these days is more reliant on sort of more kind of niche stuff, but I'll talk about that more in the future. Okay, then we got some slides about the concept of the game. This is a world imagined as if Sega, the video game company, became like the most powerful company in the world and was trying to take it over, kind of remake it in its image. They say that this is not a fake world, but it's not the true world. So I guess the goal of the player is to restore the true world. And then, of course, with mobile games, we have a large pool of characters. They are called cast. And then what they are like personifications of games made by Sega. There is a common thing in Japan where, like, to promote like a product or some kind of event, they will create a young girl character to represent that product or event. In Japanese, it's a gijinka. This is a fairly new thing. For a long time, they would do yudu kyara. This is like cute characters to represent different products or events. Maybe the most famous of these is Kumamon. He is there to represent the Kumamoto prefecture, kind of as like a tourist thing, you know. Come to Kumamoto, see Kumamon, take your picture, kind of like a Mickey Mouse kind of thing. But in addition to yudu kyara, these very kind of fluffy, cute characters, they've had more gijinka, which is the young girl versions. And so this game will be taking the old video games and then making little girl versions of them. And then the way that the evil empire Sega is going to take over the world is take these girls and then use them as weapons to like destroy what they want to destroy or take over what they want to take over. And the next slide here, yeah, this is what I said before, but the player goal is to restore the true world. beat Sega, basically. Alright, and then here they show the battle system. They call it a shooting RPG. Of course, it will feature auto battle, and then kind of short battles, which is the standard for mobile games these days. But we will be using kind of like the good versions of these cast, using them to fight against the evil versions of the cast. Alright, and then I say this all the time, but voice actors are stars in Japan. Nobody ever seems to believe me, so I'll put up this slide where they show this, the cast of voice actors in order to kind of further sell the game. Users, they see voice actors that they like, and then like, oh, I like that voice actor, I'll pick up that game. Alright, and then here we have some of the launch characters, and this was so hilarious to me. But we got very famous games, even outside of Japan, like Virtua Fighter, Virtua Cop. I'm pretty sure Afterburner and Outrun were also released outside of Japan. I don't know about Fantasy Zone. But yeah, God, this takes me back to the early days of arcade gaming. Sega was like so prominent, very exciting, and then they had their own aesthetic. And then the Virtua games in particular, they were like super mind-blowing because they had polygons. They were kind of like the first 3D looking games. But yeah, we have them all represented by little girl versions. It's interesting to look at their costumes and then like see how the different games are represented by them. But they have some others. Pango, I was not very familiar with that game, but that's super old apparently. Hang On, that's the one where you like actually get on the bike and then you like lean, to the left and right to control there. Space Harrier, Thunderblade. Some kind of animal game, and then Golden Axe. Oh my god, I loved Golden Axe. All of those kind of side-scrolling games, absolutely love those. Okay, here we have Columns. This was the Sega answer to Tetris. Virtua Racing, also played that a lot. Flaming Vipers, don't know that one. Dynamite something, don't know that. House of the Dead, I am so happy. I play that game a ton. And then Crazy Taxi, kind of a more modern-ish game, so cool to see that here. Alright, and then there's kind of the guide character in the game, Ribbon. She is not based on a game so far, or quite obviously, but she'll be the one that guides you through the tutorial, that kind of thing. And then, for every character, there will be two versions. One is the kind of the original that they make, and the one that presumably that we will most often control as the player. And then on the right, we have kind of the Fallen version. This is the one where like their mind has been taken over by the evil Sega Corporation and is wreaking havoc in the world. These will be like the boss characters, but I assume we'll be able to use them as well. But kind of the light version is called Anode, and then the dark version is called Cathode. Alright, and then here we have the two versions of Columns. From here we can see that the quote-unquote evil version is not necessarily dark. She still has like a smile on her face. But yeah, she will be there, used by the Sega Corporation to kind of attack the world. And then here are some more evil versions of the previous characters that we saw. And then apparently there will be places where we can make choices in the story, and then have like different characters get taken over by Sega, and then maybe get access to these dark versions. Alright, and then they showed some in-game graphics. We have an apartment here where we can, I guess, hang out with these holograms or whatever. I will be perfectly honest, I was not very impressed with these in-game graphics of these character models. But that might be because I am spoiled, playing like Near Reincarnation or Kirameki Paradise, where the in-game graphics are extremely good for the character models. But yeah, it's not like these are bad. These are more just average. Okay, and then here's the kind of the menu screen, or the team build screen. 5 members. I'll talk about this in more detail, maybe in the battle preview video. And then they previewed some more collaborations with other companies. Bandai Namco, Taito, Capcom, and SNK. So we can expect more retro game girls in the future. They also teased like Pac-Man. Like Pac-Man, I don't know if you fight him or something, but that was kind of cool. Oh, and they have a bunch of like promotional videos. I'll link to that playlist in the comments below. Alright, and then a bit of a personal thing here. They will give out an IWC watch. This is a very expensive watch. I like watches, and I would love an IWC. But this looks like a 43mm size, which is going to be way too big for my little wrist. It would look like a dinner plate on my wrist, so that's too bad. If I won this, I would probably sell it. Alright, and then this was a surprise. They released a companion app. I did play through it, and they have some kind of like tutorial battle in there, so I'll make a video about that later. And then finally, here's the key visual for the game. We see a ribbon here, and then we get a sense of like the world as taken over by Sega. Okay, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again. Take care.